And you're listening to Talk Time with Janet and Thelma, the podcast where true life becomes funny tales. Episode 1. Hey, Thelma, how are you?
I'm doing good. I can't complain. How about you, Janet?
I'm good. What are we going to talk about today?
Well, listen, I figured I'd talk about this time I went to White Sands National Park in New Mexico, and it's a really funny story. Would you like to hear it?
Sure.
Before we get started, Thelma, I like to tell you some interesting facts. You know, the White Sands National Park covers 145,762 acres, and it's located in the Tularozo Basin. The gypsum dune field is the largest of its kind on Earth, with a depth of about 30 feet, but the dunes can be as tall as 60 feet. You don't realize how tall 60 feet is until you get in there, Janet, I'm telling you. And this White Sands National Park was established as a national monument in 1933, but redesignated as a national park in 2019. Now, enough of those interesting facts. Nobody really wants to hear about that. But I just really wanted to tell you that because, when the story gets into the details, you really need to know that these dunes can be 60 feet. So remember that.
Okay, 60 feet.
I mean, you know what I'm going to do? I'm going to test you in a little while to ask you how tall these were. So you better remember 60 feet. There's a quiz at the end of this. And you better pass it.
I will.
Because that doesn't mean you're listening to me or not. And you too, you listeners, you better be listening too. There's always going to be a test. When you go to White Sands, because it's only, for this video, I'm going to call my friend Delilah and her dog Ella. And you need to know that Delilah always brings her dog Ella everywhere. This girl doesn't go anywhere without that dog. And so you'll need to know that from Delilah's house, it's only a 24-minute ride to the White Sands. I mean, why not go, right, Janet? You should be going all the time to this place. Yeah. So what I'm saying is, we're going to go to this White Sands. I've never been before. And so I told Delilah, she said, what do you want to do today? I said, I want to go to this White Sands National Park. I really enjoy that kind of stuff. I think it's nice. Seeing as this White Sands National Park is only 24 minutes from where Delilah lives, we decided, let's get in the car and let's go. And so when you first go to White Sands, it's really interesting. It's really cool because they charge you $25. And of course, it'll be a different price if you got a bus or something else. But they charge you $25 for a carload, and that includes up to 5 days into the park. They'll give you a ticket, and you can use it for today, tomorrow, and up to 5 days. So we thought, wow, that's a really good deal. Why don't we do that? And when you walk into when you're driving into White Sands, you see nothing but white sand dunes for miles. There's little trailhead stops, there's little walkways, every little thing you can think of. And when you first go to White Sands, you're kind of nervous thinking that you really can't step on all this white gypsum sand, but you really can. They don't care if you walk on anything. And so it's really interesting that 7 miles from the visitor center at the front of White Sands, they have a Alkali Flat Trail. And Janet, when they say this is Alkali Flat Trail, you think it's flat?
No.
It's not. It's not flat. And even what the website says in White Sands National Park, they say that the length of this trail is 5 miles round trip. A trail marker red, which you already know that red means bad. And you got to think something. It should be green means go, right? But no, it's red. And a trail marker symbol is a diamond. Diamonds are a girl's best friend. So I guess if you can get through this hike, you can feel like you've won the lottery maybe. An average completion time of 3 hours. I think the 3 hours is for somebody that's really good about hiking because it says on here, the difficulty, strenuous. And it is strenuous. And it says on here, although the name of the trail is Alkali Flat, please note it is not flat. And the trail is only foot travel only. You're not allowed to have bicycles, horses, or any motorized vehicles. But get this, Janet. This is the funny part. It says here, hiking safety. Your tomorrow depends on what you do today. Be prepared for your hike and have a safe and enjoyable experience. There is no shade, no water, and no toilet facility along the trail. By the time we get to the Alkali Flat Trailhead, there's a lot of signs outside. And the sign says, make sure you bring enough water, make sure you bring enough sunscreen, and if you get stuck, please dial 911 and a helicopter will pick you up. We're thinking, we already got sunscreen. We put it on at the car. We don't really need to take anything with us. We just get this little tiny thing of water. And we have the dog. We have Delilah. We have everything we need. We just get to the trailhead and we think this is the best thing ever. And we're going to start the trail. And this is where it really gets interesting, Janet. Are you ready for this?
Yep.
And we think it's the best thing in the world. But, okay. I'm testing you now, Janet.
Okay.
How tall were these sand dunes?
60 feet.
Exactly. And so I'm walking and I'm going and I look at Delilah and I says, Delilah, this is a fantastic hike. Aren't we doing good? And here goes dog Ella. Boy, she's up. She's going as far as you can see. And remember what I said earlier, even though this is a big park and it's busy, you don't have anybody. Nobody's near you. Nobody's next to you. This was good during quarantine time, too, because you could really quarantine. So I'm walking, and I'm saying, Delilah, I think we've been here, I'm looking at my watch, about 45 minutes now. I think we should hit the halfway mark, right? Or should we be at the end or something? What do you think, Janet? We'd be close to the end?
Yeah.
See? And that's what got me was, because I'm crisping already. And after 45 minutes of walking, listen, I thought, this is my first time being in the desert. I thought that I had done good with this sunscreen. No, I started, listen, my hair is short, and I started feeling sun burning on the top of my head.
Oh,
I
no.
could feel like
You didn't have a hat?
I didn't think to bring one. I was a rookie. This is my first time hiking. And so what I'm trying to tell you is, listen, I felt it. And I thought it was in an air fryer. I thought I was like some kind of, you know how you like French fries?
Yeah.
I thought I was a French fry in the air fryer because I could feel my skin burning everywhere. And I had just got this tattoo done 2 weeks ago, and it was just healing. And so I said, oh, great. All this time I put into this. Oh, no. Listen, where's my sunscreen? And so, listen, we keep going. And this time we had gone an hour and a half into this hike. I didn't see anybody. I turned to Delilah and I said, do you think that we made a mistake? What do you think, Janet? Do you think we made a mistake?
I mean, if you're asking that question, you're a little too far already.
I don't, yeah, at that time, yeah. And one thing you need to know about Delilah and Janet, they're two duo team, but they don't know. They don't know they're...
You mean Delilah and Thelma?
Well, see? See? I'm already getting mixed up, and you think I'm going hiking, and I'm already mixed up? Delilah and Thelma are like one of these two peas in a pot. We don't know north, east, south, west. We know it says bring water. We don't bring water. We do everything completely opposite. So what they should really do for us is when we go hiking, they should really have these signs out front that says Delilah and Thelma, this is for you. And it should be everything completely opposite. Don't bring your water. Don't bring your sunscreen. And we would do everything we weren't supposed to do. And we'd be perfect, right? Hour and a half into this hike now, I'm sitting here saying, Delilah, I see somebody. Oh my gosh, it's a man coming. I see him. And we get so excited. We're jumping up and down. We act like we're one of those people on Survivor that we got the helicopter coming and we're waving and we got all of our, what do you call that? Fire. We're trying to get everybody to notice we're there. And I said, sir, you're the first one I've seen in an hour and a half. Are we almost at the end of this hike? And this guy's face, it's one of the Kodak moments. Candid camera kind of thing. I said, sir, what are you looking at? Like, you looking at me like I've done, like, do I got something on my nose or something? What are you looking at? He said, ma'am, I'm trying to tell you, you're not even halfway. And when I tell you, I wish I could have recorded the way Delilah and I looked at each other and said, halfway? You got to be kidding me. And he says, ma'am, he says, it's not that too much farther to halfway. Okay, cool. I looked at Delilah, I looked at Ella, I said, you think we got to keep going? She said, well, we're already this far into it. Better keep going. And listen, I've already told you I'm turning into a potato chip. I'm crisping. And I don't have anything. And so now we're walking probably about 2.5 hours into it. At the halfway mark earlier, though, we had hit this place called White Sands Missile Range that they use for the military. Janet, we almost got missiled.
No.
Yes, we did.
No, you
because we
didn't.
almost went too far into it. And we didn't read the sign that says, do not pass this line. And we said, ooh, what is this? Where's the trail going then? So we realized where the trail was going off. And we finally get maybe 2.5 hours into it. I don't think we were halfway at that time. We were beyond halfway. But we finally met these two ladies. And I said, ma'am, I said, you got any sunscreen? You got something? I need it. I'm crisping. Something's, oh gosh. And I'm panicking at this time. I got no water, got nothing. And listen, they tell you to dial 911 on the cell phone. Forget it. 911's no use because we have no service.
No service?
So how's the helicopter going to come and get me with no service? And can you imagine a helicopter flying down? And all that white sand's going to be, it's going to be everywhere. It's going to be my eyes. So I'm not going to have a problem where I'm crisp. And I've got respiratory issues. And that's not a good combination.
You would have been a breaded french fry.
That's what I'm trying to tell you. See, you had to be there to experience all this. This is once in a lifetime kind of thing. And so they had, thank God, they had sunscreen for me. They didn't have any water, but at least they had sunscreen. So I covered my body the best I could in the sunscreen. And I tell you what, 3-hour hike. We had gone out of there 5 hours.
Nuh-uh.
Because when I tell you Delilah, she's one of them ones that's slow walkers. I have to try to tell her, I need one of them like child leashes and just put it on her wrist and say, come on now, I'll lead you. Because she goes so slow. And she'll be saying, Thelma, you're walking too fast. You're going too fast. I said, well, Delilah, speed it up a little bit. You act like you're 90 years old. Get up going. Come on now. If the dog is already out there way far away, I got to keep up with the dog. You know? But finally, we got about 5 hours. And we finally reached the end of the hike. And I didn't think, you know how when they say you're at the hospital and you see, you like a near-death experience? and you see these I'm thinking about hiking because I'm so already distraught about it. You know, these near-death experiences you get where people see the white lights at the end?
Yeah.
I thought that's what I saw. I didn't see the white light, but I saw the white sands.
Oh,
and I
my
thought I
gosh.
was never getting out of that place. I told Delilah, I says, let's do our last wishes right here. We're in the middle of this hike. Let's do our last. Because listen, it was the middle of summertime and 2 p.m. No sunscreen,
What
no
were
water.
you guys thinking?
You didn't listen to me earlier, did you? I said, we don't think. That's the problem. We don't think. We should be thinking. And so when we got out of this thing, the amount of pictures we took of this trailhead, because we were so excited that we actually made it out, was something fantastic and something different. We got so many different stories to think of on that, because listen, I wanted a one in a lifetime experience, and I got one. Because it was a trail. And don't listen to any trail that says flat trail. I think it's tricking you. You know what I think they got? I think secretly they got cameras around there somewhere, and they're watching all these crazies go on this hike. And when they watched us, I think we're on these America's Funniest Videos, and we won $10,000, but they just didn't tell us. I think it's got to be something, because they just trick these people. Just don't walk and just to walk on that trail. No, it's people like us that think, oh, this is pretty, this is nice, we'll go on there, we'll do it. But I'm telling you, Janet, from that time on, I got a backpack. I got waters in the backpacks. I got everything. I got sunscreen. And listen, we're prepared now. We still got other stories to tell where we got hiking and we got lost. We got hailed on, but that's for a different episode. This episode right here,
It's about white sands.
it's about white sands. And guess what?
What?
What did I tell you at the beginning? It's $25 for a 5-day experience. So do you think we went back, or do you not think we went back?
Oh my gosh, you guys went back?
And sure enough, we did. And let me tell you, when we went back, those things, what do you call this, Janet, where you go, in the snow and you go down the hills. What do you call that thing?
The sleds?
Yeah. See, I'm quizzing you right here. These sleds, these are what we didn't realize that these 60 feet. Did you remember how tall they were? 60 feet. We're going up and down, up and down. We could have had sleds. Everybody's got sleds.
What?
Yes.
You didn't have sleds?
No, we didn't know. And so Delilah and I says, it's only 24-minute car ride from her house. We're just going to go down here and we're going to go use the sled. We got Home Depot sells the sleds. So we went to Home Depot, bought us a sled, everything. We didn't think, because us not thinking again, we didn't think that, it gets really that dark. It gets really that dark that fast. But boy, when I tell you it got dark fast. And so we got through, we wanted to see the sunset. So we got there later. It was another day we went back, and we got there later at night. And those people at the entrance, they ought to really tell you that when it gets dark fast, because they just said, have a nice experience at White Sands. I hope you have a nice night. How come you didn't tell me all the rules and regulations? Because when we got down there, I started using this sled and couldn't use it. I've never seen snow before. So I'm going up, going down the sled, and falling left, falling right. I didn't make it down to the bottom. I'd sand in my pants, sand in my mouth, sand in my phone. You know how you got ants in your pants? No, it's called sand in your pants. And when I tell you that this place has no shade, no nothing, and just sand. And so it goes every crevice of every part of your body you think of, and your ear, everywhere, especially when you're rolling and tumbling like you've gone downhill. Jack and Jill go down the hill. It's called Thelma and Delilah down a hill. And so, we finally saw these, because you don't see many people out there, finally saw this family. And the family says, I like that your sled you got. And then we see this other family over there with another sled sort of like ours. And we started asking them, excuse me, how do you get this sled and actually go down without falling? And so they told us all the tips, tricks, secrets. And so we finally got to where we're going down, and we didn't fall. It was miraculous. I don't know how we did it, but we started going down. And I saw that the sun was going down a little bit. And I said to Delilah, we got a couple more minutes. Heck with it. So we go down, sun's going down. But I decided to go slide down the hill again. And before I know it, it got black. It got dark. And Janet, when I'm telling you, have you ever been to a pitch black area? No.
No.
You think you've been to a pitch black area? Wait till you get to White Sands and it gets dark. And so Delilah doesn't see too well. And I couldn't see anything because at that time I still didn't get my hiking backpack. I got it after my trip to White Sands, after I got back from New Mexico, but I didn't have anything this time. And so what I had was a cell phone light.
Oh my gosh.
And this cell phone light doesn't do you any justice. I'm telling you, because I looked at Delilah and I said, well, I said, girl, I said, I think we're in trouble because it's dark and I can't see anything. I don't know where the car was. I don't know where the dog is. I'm hoping she's right next to me, but she's white. Why Delilah has to have a white dog in White Sands beats me. And so here goes Delilah. I got my phone. You remember them rock concerts where you have the little...
The lighter?
The lighter, and they go back and forth at all these concerts.
Yeah.
I felt like I was doing that with my flashlight. And here goes Delilah, help, help, we need help, somebody help me. And I'm saying, oh, they're going to call 911 thinking we're really bad off, like we need an ambulance or something.
How far were you into the trail?
This was no trail. We were trying to get back to the car. We were on the road. But see, at White Sands, they got the sand hills that go up and go down 60 feet. But they're all over.
Oh.
This is acres and acres. Remember when I said it was how many acres earlier? This is big. And I'm telling you, this place, when it gets dark, it went dark fast. And I didn't think at that time, good thing I didn't research this place because I thought they had no animals. Come to find out, they got a lot of animals out there. I could have been eaten. First, the other day, I was turning into potato chip crisp. And now today, I'm getting eaten by something. And so here it goes. The White Sands Park had closed at this time. We were stuck. We couldn't find the car. We couldn't find anything. And so now the thing about it is, I hear this woo, woo, woo. I said, oh gosh. Oh my gosh, we're in trouble. I turned to Delilah and said, we're in trouble because the park is closed. This is a national park and we're here we're here late. And she said, no, it'll be all right. Here comes the park ranger. Park ranger says, ma'am, we're closed. I said, sir, I was trying to find you. Where have you been all my life? I've been looking for you because we've been stuck for good 20, 25 minutes already. He said, well, you guys got that Nissan Rogue out there? I said, yes, sir, we sure do. He said, well, why don't you walk a little bit further down the way and I'll flash my lights where your car is. Oh, perfect idea. How come the man, listen, okay, answer me this question, Janet. How come this man can't take me in his car, in his park ranger car, all the way down to our vehicle?
Probably some regulations or something.
Okay, so would you rather me dead because I can't find my car and some animals ate me? Or would you rather me get into a park ranger's car and get going?
I don't know.
I think I should get in the park ranger's car and go, but you know what? That's just me. And so we're walking and we're walking and walking. I looked at Delilah and I says, girl, I think we've been walking 20, 25 minutes. This isn't right. And so I hear the park ranger go, woo, woo, woo. I said, oh no. I looked and we had walked in the opposite direction.
Oh my gosh, in the opposite direction.
And for 25 minutes. What? I told you should have took us in our car. The problem. And then we go down here and I says to Delilah, I says, well, I guess we got to go back, turn around. Finally, the park had closed and we were still in there an hour and a half after the park had closed.
Oh my gosh.
I'm surprised they didn't take us to jail. I got some stories out of this White Sands, I'm telling you. But finally, we got to the car, and you're only supposed to go 15 miles around this place, like 15 miles an hour. I was doing 20, 25, trying to get out of here because I was so afraid they were going to say something to me. But listen, when I tell you the place got dark, and the place got dark fast, and
Did you ever find the car?
Oh, yeah. We found the car, but it felt like 3 days to find the car. It felt like I used my whole 5-day pass to find the car. It's a very nice place. White Sands is beautiful. It's fantastic. But when you go there, you got to realize you need like night vision goggles or you need something because you got to be prepared. And so that's why when I told you earlier when I'd gone on the Alkali Flat Trail and I realized I needed all my hiking equipment and I needed everything, I've realized after that second encounter, I really need some equipment because I'm going around here acting like I have no idea what I'm doing. And I don't want to be one of these people on the news dead at the national park. I was just trying to have fun. Can't a girl have fun? But you know, really, Delilah and myself, we're really good at getting ourselves lost, getting ourselves in all kind of trouble, everything. And you know, I got a lot of stories with Delilah and myself that you guys are just going to love and you guys are going to just enjoy every bit of it. And you know, you guys got to definitely tune into our next episode because you got to find out how my trip to White Sands National Park led me to being thought of as a drug smuggler in the El Paso airport. Are you prepared for this,
What?
Janet?
A drug smuggler?
Oh, yes, they really thought I was. And when I thought I was dead at White Sands, I thought I was dead again. It's interesting. It is a story of a lifetime. And I want to see you guys tune in next time to see it and to hear it.
Thank you for tuning into Talk Time with Janet and Thelma. Tune in to our next episode for more funny tales.